So I'll do an intro and then we're just going to jump into it. Danny, where are you? Oh, Danny's welcome.
Use that. Sorry.
We are very sophisticated here at the Dad So Hard production studios, aka our basements. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, dude, we're so psyched. I can't. My eyes are a mess. Thank you for doing this. So we'll just do our standard opening and then we'll get into it. Bam. Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dad So Hard. I'm Vinny Dunleavy.
Danny McCartney.
And we are two dads, two guys, two friends. What else are we, Danny?
That's about it.
About it.
Husbands,
that's all
not to each other, but
we had two husbands, two sons, two siblings, and we love to talk about dad life and the trials and tribulations of what it's like to be awesome men and fathers.
Yeah, that about wraps it up.
Yeah, we're self-proclaimed great dads and men. And if you don't agree with that, then write in.
We'll ignore it, throw it out.
And we will not listen to you. So today we have a big episode. We have talked about in the past our own goals of working out and what it takes to have these great dad bods that me and Danny have.
Yeah.
And today,
keyword dad bod.
So, but today I'm excited because we have joining us virtually. This is actually our first. I think this is our first threesome in our new office situation. It's a very. I'm excited about it. We'll take some photos of what it looks like. So for all those people who never thought about having a virtual threesome, what it's like.
But this video doesn't get posted. I'm continuously rolling my eyes.
We'll get this thing out there. So, but we are joined by Fitness. First of all, he's not. I would. Ralph. Well, his name is Ralph. Well, we'll have you do an intro, but part Instagram influencer, part Beachbody, leading national award-winning coach, very part husband, and now part father. So we're multifaceted. When we talk about work hard, play hard, dad hard, this guy
has parts.
He has all the parts. So, and then I wrote, this is my little intro I wrote, Danny. So I wrote, in order to work hard, play hard, and dad even harder, you need to feel good about yourself, which means having a hard body and mind. So today we're going to tackle how do we approach, fail, succeed, and attempt our goals with Ralph, with a fellow Italian. That's the other thing we're excited about. We have 3 Italians in the house.
That's right.
Ralph, I'm going to try to butcher your last name.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to correct it. So it's Ralph Mazzuoccolo.
That's perfect. That was good.
Yeah, that's my Long Island roots coming at me.
There you go.
I love it. So Ralph, how would you describe, first of all, how do you describe who you are in the world of versus Instagram versus Beachbody?
Okay, so well, first and foremost, I'm Ralph. So I have my own brand. I mean, it's me and my wife, and we are known as the Sweat Life Couple. We really branded that because we got to do this together, which is really nice, which we'll talk more about my story, how that worked out. But in the Instagram world, I mean, you're yourself. I'm not a brand. I partnered with Beachbody. I use Beachbody. We'll talk about how that happened. But first and foremost, it's me, and I use their programs to help people. But people are going towards me to get help, and so that's how I kind of work. So
how long have you?
You're the coach.
What was that?
You're the coach.
I'm the coach. Exactly. Yeah. People don't need help finish or selling these programs, all that. People need help finishing these programs and getting results. And that's where we come in, and that's where I really strive. And I got a couple cool dad stories that I'll share with you of guys that transform their lives completely, and it's something pretty cool. So
how do you? We always like to ask people too. What is give our listeners a quick update on how long you've been married? How old is your son? Mm-hmm. And when you thought about when you thought about becoming a dad, were you guys focused on it? What was your plan there?
Yeah, so we've been married 5 years this past March. We've been together 11 years. We met at college. We both went to the University of Florida.
Go Gators.
Go Gators, yeah. And so when we got out of college, both did our things. I went into finance. She went into actually sales. She thought she wanted to do a sales, pharmaceutical sales. Didn't like that, went into nursing, ended up being a nurse practitioner. I ended up in private banking, and we just worked really long hours.
Yep.
And her surgeon was an amazing guy, but they would do robotic surgery. So she'd be first assisting there. And she just saw his lifestyle that his son would always call about 4 or 5 o'clock and be like, hey, Dad, you going to make it to my baseball game tonight? And he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll definitely be there. And she said she would look at the other residents, and it's 4 o'clock, and they just started a case that's about 6 hours long. She's like, there's no way he's going to make it. Yeah. And so she was just sitting there, and we would talk about it. She's like, listen, if we're going to start a family, she's like, I don't think – she's like, I want us both to be kind of present. And we never realized that we can be present and be successful at the same time. We feel like sometimes you have to have it either or. Yeah. And that's okay. There's people that definitely make it work. But she's like, I want to be able to be there, both of us to be there. And so that's what led us to Beachbody, to actually pursuing this business opportunity. But our son now is 4 months old. He is amazing. He's actually still sleeping, going 9 hours plus. So
nice.
Yeah. But the cool thing was, after we had him, she was a part-time nurse practitioner still. Found out because she didn't qualify for full 12 weeks at FMLA, that she was only going to get 6 weeks non-paid. She's like, she had a C-section, so she was like, "There's no way I'm going back." And I said, "You know what? You don't have to." And so she retired that day, and she's been home, both of us, for the last 4 months, working our business and with our son. So
that's awesome, and I feel like you don't hear that a lot too. Like, I mean, you do, but a lot of people don't have, I guess, what it takes to say, you know what, we're both going to make it work and both be there fully as much and often as we can.
Yeah, and it's definitely been a challenge. At first, we're like, the first 2 months when you have your child, they don't really do much. They still kind of lay there.
Yeah. The easiest part is the first 3 months. I agree.
Yeah. And now that he's starting to trying to crawl, and he turns over, and we got to watch him. So it's a really cool thing. We have to balance our work because we do work from home. So it's kind of, we have a good understanding of our work hours. And so we can talk about that a little later, but how we split up our day and stuff to make it work.
Yeah, I think the biggest, I don't think when we got married, we talk about like the parents you want to be, and then you think the parents that you're going to be and how present. I do think, to your point, the worst thing you could do is lie to a kid. When my kids are like, "Are you going to be home late?" And I go, "Yes." And then they're like, it's rather like, "Can you be home?" They're like, they go to camp now. So I get can you be home early so you can get me off the camp bus? And my answer is no, I have to work. And then they get upset, but I'm like, listen, if I don't work, then there's no money to live in this house, and then you're on the street. So I think you have to it's being truthful from the beginning, not only with your kids, it's with your partner and the life you want to have, right? So if you don't do that, you're screwed. And then it's like one little lie leads to another, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of all disappointment. So then how do you, I guess this the struggle I have, and I think this is what me and Danny like. I mean, we joke about, Danny works out more than I do. You would never know that based on looking at us. But we'll do a shirt off challenge later.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Ralph. I don't think we're gonna beat Ralph on this, so it'll be a lose. But we could do that at the end. But I think it's, how do you find the time? And I think I've seen this on your Instagram, but like, it's not always about the biggest workout, but I think the struggle I have is always like trying to find that 10, 20 or 30 minutes to be away from my kids and be away from my family, and then give it to myself.
Yeah. So there's two ways we go about that. One, we always tell our clients, I tell my, because everyone is busy. I mean, at the end of the day, we all say we're busy, and it's just, how bad do you want it? And it's, what are you going to do to make a difference? Because we always talk about how if your kids needed to go to the doctor's appointment, if your kids needed to do something, you'd make it happen. You drop your schedule, you figure out a way, you're going to make it happen. So that does require sometimes waking up early. That does require maybe working out late. That does maybe require sacrificing, TV time or something like that, whatever you need to do to get it done. But if it means enough to you, you will find the time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And so I kind of give some tough love there when I work with my dad clients, is like, that's number one, is you're going to find the time. And if you don't, it's not important to you. That's point blank. And then number two is, that's why I really like pairing with Beachbody started with the P90X and the Insanities and all those programs. But now what they have is the brand new streaming platform. I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but it's kind of like the Netflix. We call it Sweatflix. So it's over 1,000 workouts right to your TV, your phone, your iPad. So now you can do it right in your house. You can do it in your basement. You can do it in a room. The workouts are 20 to 30 minutes now. They realize that you don't have to go as long. Mm-hmm. But if those people that do want to go to the gym, because I still go to the gym and I take mine on my iPad, is I still get in a 30-minute workout, but I'm efficient. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not walking around the gym trying to figure things out. I'm not there to talk to people. I am there to press play, get my workout in about 35 minutes. I'm dripping sweat, got a great workout, and I'm walking out the door. So, it's finding the time and being efficient. The two things that, most people, need that to have success.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it too. And I think it seems like it's a lot of like basing it around those two aspects, like finding those two aspects for yourself, right? And I guess kind of saying like, okay, this is what I need to do to make it work. And I guess figuring out what you want to do, right? Like it's almost, I guess, I don't know, making a list of like the things that are the priorities. And now I have to figure out a way to fit it all in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what, when I was off topic, when I was actually, I did financial advising, because in the finance world, I always told my clients, you have all your bills on your table. I was like, your mortgage, your car, your, loans, all that. What bill do you pay first? And they're all like, oh, the mortgage, because I got to have a house. And I was like, no, actually, you pay yourself first. That bill's not on the table, but you have to pay yourself. And if you pay yourself first and save, you'll see that everything else will trickle down. And so I tell our clients, same aspect when it comes to fitness is you give yourself time, and you'll see you'll have time for everything else, because now you're going to have the energy to do everything else you want to do. So you'll be able to stay awake later. You'll be able to feel better, run around with the kids, do all that stuff, be a better employee and better employer. But it all starts with you. So
it's like trickle down economics for your body. It's very 80 Ronald Reagan of you, Ralph.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, so Danny, when you write your list, McCartney, what list are you writing when you get up at the 5 o'clock? How are you getting your ass up at 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I love running. So like, that's my thing. Like to me, it's like meditation kind of like, some people think that's crazy, but I don't know. I just love like getting out there and running. And to your point, like the days where I don't run, I feel sluggish all day. Like doing this, and Vinny even will see it, like, cause we always record in the morning, like very early, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't run prior, like it has nothing to do with having coffee, but if I don't run prior, like I'm not energetic, not necessarily talking. And the same thing goes for work. Like I work we both work in media sales. And the days I don't run, it takes me till 11 o'clock to kind of get going. So like, I guess aside from the fact of like, I do want to be healthy and in shape and I enjoy running, like those other aspects help me just get out the door, because I know that when I don't, the rest of the day kind of sucks.
It's terrible. I don't like where I have learned to enjoy working out, but I really don't. I mean, I guess I'm 50-50. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I don't. I've realized working out with somebody can be a much better experience. So I ran. Oh, really? Oh, I went running last night with my buddy. We ran 4 miles. I was so proud of myself. I did 4 miles.
That's good.
And I ran with one of my buddies, and it was a good workout, and it went by faster.
Totally. I like to be solo, no distractions.
You don't want to talk to anybody?
In and out, get it done.
Ralph, Danny's nightmare is going on a 5-mile run with me, because I won't shut
my
up.
brains out.
He would be out of his mind.
Next
mind.
the hard podcast will be done with video running. So.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
that'd be phenomenal.
It would be it would be a nightmare for Danny. But my nightmare would be running on Staten Island, because you never know what's going to happen to you there. I don't know how you find that. I don't know how Danny finds that calming.
It is. It is.
Ralph, where are you originally from? Because I don't think an Italian man with the last name of Mazzuoccolo is originally from Virginia.
No, so I grew up, actually, I was born in the Bronx.
That's where I was from. I live there. I'm not from there.
I have to say, I was born there because I moved to Ocala, which is in Florida. It's about an hour and a half north of Orlando when I was 2. Don't know why my parents chose Ocala. They always joke, some with the witness protection. But
I was gonna say your dad was probably hiding money.
yeah, no, probably because both my grandparents are straight from Italy. My
Oh,
mom's
definitely hiding money in Florida.
yeah.
I mean, how do you not? That's not a joke. They were telling you the truth.
So, but they haven't told us yet. So if they did it when they're 18s, maybe when they pass away, they'll say something. But no, and so it was Ocala, and then pretty much just in the Florida area. So we live actually in St. Pete right now, which is Tampa Bay area.
Yep.
So so that's my roots is Italy to the Bronx to Ocala to pretty much this area.
Nice. Danny is obsessed with Disney World.
Yeah.
Are you a Disney? Do you and your wife? Are you Busch Gardens? Because you guys have a lot of options down there with your kids.
We actually have not been to a theme park in a while. Usually Universal's way. I like roller coasters and stuff. I'm sure Disney's going to be when kids are lined up, but in Florida we know we don't go during the summertime. I don't know how people go during the summertime. I know it's vacation, but that's just death. I could not be in Disney with all the crowds and the heat.
Too hot.
And a $50 water. I'm not going to do it.
No, it's ridiculous.
Now I'm gonna ask you this, just now that we're talking like with kids and like theme parks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked already because your son's 4 months old already. So why wouldn't you have started thinking about the next one? What are we thinking? More or?
So we talked about it. We may be one and done. We've heard from people right now. Because we actually had before we had my son, it was last year. We found out we were pregnant. About 5.5 weeks into it, actually ended up having a miscarriage. And so it was like July 1st of last year, pregnant, July 3rd, miscarriage, July 30th, pregnant with my son. Didn't think it could happen. And so it was like a whirlwind of emotions. And it wasn't a bad pregnancy or anything. Everything went good. We, and he's doesn't cry unless he's tired or he's hungry. He's growing amazing. I mean, he's like over almost 17 pounds now. He's healthy. Awesome. Sleeps awesome, so we said we're very blessed in that aspect. And we heard that they kind of fool you. They give you and you guys have
false sense of security.
Yeah, like, oh, we'll get another one. And the next one, like colicky or like they don't sleep well or all this problem. And so, so we just looked at it and we said, you know what, and my wife and us, we really never were the ones that like wanted to have kids. We're not like, oh, we need to have kids. We're like, okay, maybe we'll have kids. Maybe we won't. Let's just kind of see how we do our thing. And then we're like, looked at each other and we're like, are we gonna be 50 and like just us two here, or just like keep going to like brunch and like doing all this stuff? I was like, we should like grow up at some point. And so she's like, who's gonna take care of us? And so I was like, all right, well, let's talk. And so we tried, and like I said, and that's when we had her son. And so right now we think we're one and done. They said give it like a year or so to see, but we are not pursuing another one right now. Let's say that.
I love sharing that story because I think the story you just told, I think is actually one of the most common that you hear from folks. My wife and I think our first daughter, we probably had like 2 or 3 start-stops and maybe had 1 when we had our second one. But I think women in particular, do not like to talk about it. And it happens all the time. And you're never really prepared for it. And it is a roller coaster. But I say that once you have your kid, the kid you're meant to have, like, I don't ever look back and go, oh, I wish I had kid number 2 that we lost, because then I wouldn't have my daughter. Right. Yeah. So like the kid you're meant to have and the family you're meant to have, to your point, you go into it and if you want one, you try. If you don't, you don't. I actually found going from 1 to 2, I thought going from 0 to 1 was really hard. 1 to 2, I thought was easy.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Because once you're organized, my thing is like, I like to be organized. So once you go, like, once you adjusted to having a kid, having to be responsible, getting another seat at the table, having a second kid is just like, I got another second diaper bag. I didn't find it to be that difficult. I would find a third to be insane.
Yeah, they said when you have a third one, it's like you're in the pool already and they're throwing another one in there. It's like, okay, try to swim now. You're like, oh, it's one's gonna drown. It's just like
you're officially out there. You're outnumbered. Yeah. But we're two and through. That's what I like to say.
2 and through.
I just came up with that one.
Like
2
that.
and through.
There you go.
That's it. I can't have any more because of my hormones.
I will say, don't listen to
me,
anyone else's anyone else's advice. Right? Like, what's right for one person is totally wrong for another.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's going to tell you, oh, you should have 2. And just like everyone's telling me I should have 3. And just like everyone's telling the people who have 3 that they should have 4. You know, it's like, well, you already have 3. You might as well go for, get out of here. It's what's right for you is not, you know what I mean? So like that would be my dad advice.
Well, it's like, to me, I think of it as like work-life balance. Nobody can dictate the kind of work-life balance you want. Like you talked about this earlier, like you want to be home for your kids. And I always think, like, depending how hard you want to work and how much money you want to make, the life you want for your kids is the expectation that you create. So if you want to have 5 kids, but and you know what your job is, and you're not going to be able to go to a restaurant or ever eat out or go on a vacation, that's fine. But if you want to have 2 kids and be able to bring them places because you have that extra money, then that's sort of what kind of life do you want to give your child? I think is part of that decision making, and that totally is the only people who know that are people living in your house.
Exactly.
Your life, they're in your bank account, like it's you and your wife, and you know that situation.
Yeah.
Which is so then I love this idea because you've done this on your Instagram too, and what I like about it, Ralph, is that you share not only like, and I think this is Danny and I talk about our work, like balancing work and still playing hard and everything else, but you do share like all aspects of your life. And the one interesting thing that I like about it is that you also, although you are a fitness junkie, you do like to drink. And I've noticed in your Instagram posts that you do not sacrifice the party for the workout.
Yes. So I like beers. I like bourbon. I like burgers, pizza.
I love that.
I thought there was going to be a 4th B in there.
No, that's all I can think. Yeah, that's all I got right now. So I view my the abs are cool and that's fun, but when you have those, life sucks.
Nope.
You know, I've done those hard, strict diets, and you know, my goal and for what I do in my life is balance. I want to be able to live balance, enjoy life, and you know that follows up 85% of the time I do eat healthy, I do eat clean, but the other 15-20%, I'm gonna enjoy life. I'm gonna indulge, and I like to we tell our clients. There's a book called The Overweight Mind, I think it's called. And he talks about your body as a health bank. And so going back to the finance, I love this analogy is that, you know, if you aren't where you want to be and you're overweight and all that kind of stuff, well, you know, what happens is you're in the negative. It's like if your bank account was in the negative, right? You overdrew your account way too many times. So to get it to positive, you got to do a lot of healthy deposits. You got to do a lot of eating right, a lot of working out, a lot of those habits to build that consistency. Now, once your account gets in the positive, it's just making more healthy deposits than negative withdrawals. It's okay to take withdrawals out, which are the treat days and the fun, but as long as you put more deposits in, you're never going to go back to negative. So I like to think of my life as I'm in a positive spot in my account, and I'm just going to make healthy deposits, and then I'm going to take those withdrawals out and have fun and enjoy my life and do what I'm supposed to do. So
that's a phenomenal analogy.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
Danny,
using that every day.
You just woke up. I feel like that analogy just woke Danny up. Look at that. Danny's like, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, so just make sure you put those deposits in and take your withdrawals like you want and enjoy it. And as long as you're not taking more withdrawals than you put in deposits in, you're going to get results that you want. You're going to feel great. You're going to look great. You're going to do all the things you want to do. You don't have to be so strict, because when we're strict and we go from 0 to 100, that's where things go sideways, and that's where people can never stay more than, you know, a year or 2 years. And, you know, I've been in this lifestyle now for almost 9 years. And we have clients that are going, you know, 2-3 years with us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I find myself in like what would be a fitness overdraft situation where I make some deposits and I have a lot of withdrawals, and then I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? And trying to catch ahead. So that I have to challenge my fitness overdraft protection plan and cut that out. I'm about 10 pounds into my overdraft protection that I need to get out.
The interest rate is really high too.
Oh, yes. Well, I know my rule of thumb is I will refuse to buy myself new clothes. So I lost weight. Well, Danny, when did we do it? Me and Danny, did you do the fit? Yeah, we all did a fitness challenge like 2 years ago.
About a year ago.
No, 2 years ago. We haven't worked together for
whatever.
No, it's like 2 years ago. So anyway, I've kept it. When we lost the weight, I did downsize a lot of my shirts for work and some new pairs of pants. So I have recently, some of my pants are tight, but my shirts are fitting good, but I refuse my overdraft wall is if my shirts get too tight and I have to wear new ones or buy new ones. So that my thing is like, that's when I know I need to put a muzzle on it
Once
and
you
now
start
focus.
popping buttons.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
terrible. Terrible. I blame it on having such broad shoulders that when my shirt's tight, I'm like, oh, it's because I've been doing a lot of push-ups. So now I'm gonna bust through like a
Yeah,
Hulk.
totally.
We're gonna totally. By the way, we will do. I'm not gonna get back to this. We will do a shirt off contest. There's no way we're not gonna do this.
I'm not.
Danny, you got to do it. Come on.
That right now.
Yes, we are. We're all gonna do a dad's shirt off.
There you go. I like it. I love it. So.
Come on. All right. Well, we will see. We will. I think we're gonna get there. I'm gonna love it.
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early for that.
I mean, it's not even 7:00 in the morning. Come on, guys. So wait. Ralph, Danny, you don't have any tattoos, correct?
No.
Okay. So Ralph, you have like
Too indecisive.
Well, I can't make a decision either. But you have a couple tattoos, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So the other day, my daughter, and this is what like a question for you when you said my other daughter comes home, and all these kids at camp now, like all the 18-year-olds, have a ton of tattoos. All the counselors, and I just think more and more like as a kid, my father had one on his arm, but it was from the military. But now these kids see them all the time. So my daughter comes home and she's going to 3rd grade, and she starts talking about how she wants to get a tattoo on the inner part of her arm, and she's like, I want 2 triangles that are connected. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Isn't it the Avicii one?
I have no clue what it is. I'm looking at it going,
Sure.
you're not getting a tattoo. You're going to 3rd grade. Like, what world are you in that this is even a conversation?
Get her a henna one.
There you go.
I'm not getting a henna tattoo. No, it's bad enough to go to ears.
It's like a week.
Yeah, actually, that's true. You said because so coming from New York, all my uncles and stuff, they all had earrings and tattoos. So actually, in 3rd grade, me and my cousin were about 6 months apart. We wanted to get earrings. We're like, hey, Mom, we want to get our ear pierced. We want to be cool like our uncles. And they said, okay, if you want to do that. They made us walk around for a month with a little earring sticker tattoo. And they said,
okay.
And so they still want it. And she's like, if you still want it, if you want to make, didn't say anything, whatever, you guys can do it. And so, yeah, if you give her a little henny tattoo, be like, hey, walk around, see what happens, see what people say.
Yeah. She's going to be sick of it in 2 days.
Yeah.
We'll do semi-permanent tattoos. I will wait till she's in 6th grade, though. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because
not doing it in elementary.
It's so cool, and she wants to do it. Now you're kind of stuck.
Wait, do you know what would happen?
Exactly.
No, I get mad when a kid.
He's going to play a bluff that he can't cash.
I was going to say, that's the only downfall.
Yeah.
It's never. First of all, it's like when those kids in school, their parents give them a cell phone. Like right now, the nightmare is if your kid is the first in school, every parent hates you because they're all going, "Why is my kid coming home wanting a phone?" Because every
daughter's gonna 8 years old, 9 years old, is gonna walk in with a tattoo. Every other parent's gonna be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
The whole school, they will. The entire neighborhood's gonna turn on me. I can't.
Yeah, I got my first tattoo when I was 17. My mom had to come with me. My parents had to come to sign, and we had about 20 people in the waiting room and throughout the tattoo park. I was the first one in our high school to get one. So they're all there wanting to see it and stuff. And it was just, so I don't know if
Were you the only New Yorker in your high school?
No. We had Ocala has a bunch of New Yorkers that come down. So
well, here Ocala, when you Google the federal government, it's a big witness protection. There's a big mob. There's definitely some like landfills covered in cash. And
there might be something like that. I haven't found it yet.
You self-admitted that your uncles had earrings and gold chains. I mean, this is like a movie. The
One
Goodfellas.
Italian from New York did.
I have Uncle Vito, Uncle Johnny, Uncle Carmine, Uncle Nicky, Uncle Louie, Uncle Joey, Uncle John. So yeah, there's that.
Perfect.
I love it. Those are all the people I grew up. My mother escaped Brooklyn to go to the East End of Long Island, so she was like one of 2 Italians growing up in Riverhead. So I actually thought I was a backwards Italian because for the first I think I was 9 and I thought I was Polish because I went to a Polish Catholic school. Forget about it. It's a long, and I did Polish dancing. It's a really long
awesome
story. But my school, and we used to sing the Polish national anthem every morning.
What?
I know.
In Long Island?
Yeah, in Riverhead. Riverhead's it has a high Polish immigrant population. So it's like mostly all Polish. It was like potato farmers. And there were 2 schools in town, a school where there was 2 Catholic schools, an Irish Italian one and a Polish one. But the Polish one was known for being better. So my parents put us in my dad showed up to enroll us. My dad is like an Irish guy, and he walked up and the priest was like, you don't go here. You go to the other school. then he came home and told my mom, and my mom like rolled up to the church and was like, when did the Catholic Church become like ethnically oriented? So then we got into the Polish school. So
so you know the anthem still? Can you sing the anthem?
Yeah, I know the beginning of it. It's like Yak Jabolski.
It wasn't even in English.
What? Yeah, no, we sang it in. I don't remember the word. It's like it starts out with like Yak Jabolski. For any of our Polish fans, they'll recognize that tune.
Wow.
So I don't. You know, I'm gonna use my FTC excuse. Danny and I don't want to get fined. So but if I do more than 7 seconds,
by Poland.
Yeah.
There you go.
Listen, they're probably hacking this podcast right now. You never know. Polish bots instead of hacking the internet, they're going to hack our podcast.
Yep.
That's what they're going to do. But we have about 10 minutes left. Ralph, what was there was another question I had. Hang on, let me figure out where are my notes here. I got to get to my notes. I'm not very organized.
I did want to ask though, what advice? I don't necessarily run into this because similar to you, like I was with my wife for about like 12 years. So she always knew that I was into running. But for dads or husbands, I guess, where their wives are the ones that need a little more convincing, like, hey, I need this time to work out or run or.
We get that.
I feel like that I was gonna say I feel like that's got to be a big struggle.
Yeah, because there's two parts of our business. So we have the fitness side, work with our clients, and we have the business opportunity where people can actually join us and get mentored by us to do what we do. And it both sides, the spouse is not supportive or on the same page. And we always tell them, because when actually Sarah, my wife, when she bought back in 2010, she bought Insanity, the DVDs.
Yep, I did the same.
And so I was like, I worked out in the gym, played sports growing up, got to college, wasn't good enough at the University of Florida, wasn't tall enough or fast enough, realized. And so, just kind of ate pizza and drank beer and did the college thing. And so, I kind of was like, I'm going to go to the gym and do that. I laughed at her, said home workouts don't work, but we only have one TV in our apartment. So I had to sit there and watch her work out until I could watch TV.
Yeah.
And it's after a couple of weeks of doing that, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's interesting. I started seeing her results. So all I can say is sometimes when the spouse is not on board, I say take this commitment seriously. Show them that you are committed. Show them results. And then they'll get on board. But the worst thing you can do is try to keep on pushing them and want them to make a change. Because if they don't want to make a change, they're not going to. And then it can get resentful, and then it can be a whole problem. So just, I said, if you're going to go out, go committed, get results. Really show them that this is what you want to do, and then they'll follow. They'll start asking, and maybe you make the dinners. Hey, I'm gonna make the dinners, make them a little healthier. Find options that you enjoy to eat together, but it's maybe a little healthier.
Yep. And
start there, and then they'll start to trickle in. So whether it's a wife or a husband, it's just leading by example and taking it seriously. Because if they kind of not doing it or kind of just kind of just going at it, fairly. They're going to be, okay, well, I'm not going to take it seriously either. So that's
right. If you're not, I'm not.
Yeah. So
you shouldn't point out to your wife, if she doesn't look good in a dress, you shouldn't say, like, that doesn't really flatter you. You're gaining weight.
I don't know if you want to. You can.
Not that I have ever done that, but it's possible that I have.
I was going to say, you definitely
It definitely happened. And I will, yesterday on the train ride home, I met my wife and her cousin were in the city, so I met them on the train on the way home, and I was like, I don't think that dress fits you. And then I was like, I don't think you should. That's a donate dress.
Jesus.
And she was like, you're an asshole. I'm like, no, it looks fine on you, but I just didn't think it looked good on. And she's been recently losing weight, so that was my way of being like, congratulations.
Great way to motivate.
There you go.
That's a whole. I know. There's some lessons I need on how to.
People skills.
Yeah. So Ralph, where do people? So I want to make sure we have said. Yeah. Where do people find you? Because do you guys have where on the world of social media? Do you prefer Instagram? Are you on Twitter? What's your
Not
world?
on Twitter. Instagram. It's at Ralph_Mazz Mazz. Mazzuoccolo is way too long. Is my Instagram handle. Facebook. Ralph Mazzuoccolo. And then we actually have a website we're in the middle of building. It's thesweatlifecouple.com. And that should be up here hopefully next month or so. And then Sarah_Ralph at thesweatlifecouple.com is my email. So really all forms of communication is done via social.
We will make sure wait, did you say you have a Twitter? What was your Twitter?
No Twitter.
I do not have a Twitter.
We have a Twitter with like 5 tweets.
Yeah, I deal with Instagram, Facebook, a little bit of Snapchat, but
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I can't figure out. I'm too old for Twitter. I can't figure it out.
No, Twitter is exhausting.
Yeah.
I gave myself 30 minutes on Twitter over the weekend, and I didn't even understand what I was doing. I was following
like a panic attack.
It's too much, and then the trending stories. So I just went back to Instagram and felt like calm and photos. I don't have to read it. Anything. It's much, and Snapchat's too. It's too much. It's too many things to go in and out of it. Instagram basically is Snapchat, but I'd rather it's like your phone. It's having an app within an app within an app. Like you have your phone is one thing.
Yeah.
Too many apps.
Instagram's everything in one place.
It is.
Yeah.
And Facebook is like only exists so that my Instagrams can be reposted onto Facebook for my older family and friends who refuse to go on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like for the leftovers that guys get off of Facebook already, just go to Instagram. Like there's no reason to be on it anymore. I'm not messaging. I'm only putting photos there because I know you're there, but I'm actually not going into the Facebook app to do it. It's like pointless.
Yeah, I'll get like messages from a 60-year-old uncle, and it's like, I'll see it a year later.
Like Ralph, like I would assume on Facebook, you're getting a lot of messages from undercover family members, different names, people from like Florida and the Bronx. Like you're like, dude, witness protection. Like they don't realize that Facebook is actually public. Like, oh, nobody's on here. We can be our real selves.
There you go. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I have to check my filtered messages to see.
You're like, why is Uncle Steve calling himself Vito? What's happening over here? But we will make sure we are gonna. Danny is our head of social media as well as podcast. So we'll make sure we tweet you, Instagram you, and when
tweet you idiot.
I mean that's not tweet, Instagram, and we'll just Instagram you. But and we'll post in the description everything you just said. And then Danny, when you get your website up, make sure we'll go on it, and we'll link to our website. Because we have a website.
And then we have a blog section, so I'll put this podcast up there too.
Nice. So wait, before we go, one last thing. We like to do win and fails. Dad win and dad fail. What do you think in this bet? You could pick one of them. Pick one, share one dad win or a dad fail from this past week in your life.
Let's see. Dad win. Dad fail is definitely, well, I didn't really fail, but being 4 months old, this past weekend, I left with my wife. We have a fantasy football draft that me and the guys do. It's going like 8 years in a row, 9 years. So like we go to a weekend away. So I kind of left her, and he's been kind of fussy. He's kind of teething. So, and I didn't like really do anything for her, like a massage or anything like that. So probably failed. That's more of a husband fail.
Dude, I think that's a giant dad win. Because you got away.
So it's a win and a fail. Let's put that.
It's a win and a fail. And the fact that you actually thought about the one thing I didn't do was give her a massage. That's amazing that's actually your wife's the lucky
not me physically pay for a massage to get her done.
It was in a universe. It was in some kind of universe on your brain.
Yeah, it was thought. Yeah. So
we can't thank you enough for getting up early. Knowing it's not easy. Listen, your wife also photobombed us the entire time, right over your right shoulder there.
I know. Yeah.
Half her photo. So we did actually get both members of the Sweet Life couple have been in this podcast. The Sweat Life.
I can't speak either, Vinny.
People always say that. People say sweet, which we like it because obviously slides, but yes, you have sweat equity. We call it.
I failed English.
Sweat equity. I like that.
English was like a second language for my elementary school.
Boy, Polish was your first.
Polish was my first language. It was. Danny, where can people find us?
Instagram, Facebook at Dad So Hard Podcast, Twitter at Dad So Hard Pod, email dadsohardpodcast@gmail.com, or the website wearedadsohard.com.
Yeah, so guys, write in, follow Ralph immediately on Instagram. Danny's gonna post something for you to do that on our Instagram. Write in, share us your stories, and Ralph, hopefully maybe we'll have you back on with you and your wife, we'll get both of you guys on here later in the year.
That sounds good. Yeah.
We'll
Listen,
see if
thank you.
that baby stays easy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, thank you guys so much. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.
Have a great day, guys. Enjoy your Wednesday in the middle of August, everybody.
Later.
Later.
All right.